Alright guys, this is Saturday early afternoon, project number 2. This is the tailgate off of my F250 pickup, my Super Duty. I got some damage in the top of the tailgate that was hidden under the plastic strip that goes in here. All you could really see was the dent that was out here by the latch and a dent here. There's a couple, I'll call them outies, they're sticking out, high spots out in here, which we'll find later. But I'm running out the paint off this. We're going to pull as much of this as I can and probably fill a little bit of it. This is not a huge deal because it's underneath this, but it is causing this to be funky out here. So I'm going to finish grinding the paint off that. And for that, I've already pulled the latch out and everything. I forgot to turn the camera on. Make sure you guys are still focused on the right spot. This is a paint stripping disc, rust wheel, whatever you want to call it. I start with this to get all the paint off, and then I'll use, if there's still some corrosion protection on there, I will hit that with a grinding disc, like a 3-inch, and knock that out of there. Stuff out of here, otherwise the dent corner will not stick to it. Okay, we'll start with that. I'm going to shut you guys off and get the rest of plan 2. The battery in the panel beater is low and it's not welding my drop pins on there, so I am going to work on peeling my emblems off here. These things are not the easiest. I use a flat scraper. Sometimes I use a filler spreader or something like that. There's actually locator pins behind this, so you gotta watch and not swat it too hard. Or you'll hit one of those, and you don't want to pry too hard, you'll warp the panel. May have to resort to filler spreader on this one. I'm going to get a rubber mallet to tap on that. They actually make a tool to remove these for your air hammer, and it's plastic. But these, just assume do it this way. I may have lied, these may not have pins behind them, but the Ford emblem does. Nope, there's locator pins behind these two. Could have given it the old scuff them up and clear coat job, make them look like new, but I don't think we're going to do that. Not this round. That's a used car trick. I'm going to do it on my own stuff. Love my double-sided tape. Got it. Getting close. There it goes. I think I broke one of my locating tools. Yeah, that one's been off before. Or it's the wrong emblem. I have 2 more of these in the door pocket in my truck that both say Lariat on the bottom of them. I'm going to use one of those to replace it. Okay, well, I'll keep working on that. I'll be back in a second. We're going to go get a filler spreader and take that. Okay, emblems are off, and what I like to use is this eraser wheel, this 3M flap wheel, and we use that to burn the glue off of here. Some guys use razor blades. It'll work if you're careful with it. I don't like being careful when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'd rather just do it this way, it's quicker. Eye protection, because this stuff flies off. Filler spreader and take some of the bulk of that off. Maybe. I suppose you could sand it off too, but I really don't need to put any paint this far down, just clear, so. And the little hologram that this will leave will tell me right where that envelope's supposed to go. And it's not coming off that easy anyway, so. I just keep burning it off the eraser wheel. So that works a lot better on the die grinder. I'm going to go put that on the die grinder. Okay, we'll give the die grinder a try. The angle grinder doesn't seem to have enough grunt to do it. I was being too lazy. I don't have quite enough of these tools to dedicate one for each task, so. spreader. If you let this stuff soak in a while, it works better, but I'm impatient. Okay, that one definitely has to soak. There's just a little bit left on there. And you can take these things all the way down with the eraser wheels, sometimes. I should say most of the time. There was a company that made a spray for removing that double-sided tape. But then I read the label and it said naphtha right on it. So we know that that's lighter fluid for your Zippo lighters or your, I don't know what the hell else uses that. Regardless of that, it works about the same. The stuff that was labeled for sticker and adhesive remover works just the same as this does. So it works especially good when it's not so warm out because it doesn't evaporate. It just sort of sits there. Usually a little heat from the heat gun will help sometimes. Just depends on how bad it's stuck on there. So that's soaking in pretty good. So we know it's getting down to the adhesive. Just want to make sure you get all that lighter fluid off of there before you paint. I'm sure that'd be Fisheye City. So, not too many videos up the past couple of days, and I haven't had any up for a while until this week, so kind of know how it is. Just nothing going on. There's nothing to make a video of. I mean, I took you guys for a walk around showing you my tools the other day. That's how slow it is around here. You can use your fingernails too. I don't have any. I just clipped all my fingernails real short. Because I get in a bad habit of using my fingernails for stuff and then I end up ripping them or tearing them. And it's like getting a paper cut, you know? It's just something it'll bring a guy down. Things you wouldn't think would be that big of a deal. I think we're going to hit that with the eraser wheel again and see what happens. That's 95% of it. Goo Gone would probably work for this. They sell it at the box stores. I've used it before. I actually like this better. This is actually more cost effective. It seems like I'm making an awful big deal out of this, but I like to make sure it's all off there. Some guys will take them off and paint over that and then glue the emblem back to it. I guess that's fine too. But this is my truck, and this is the way I'm doing it on my truck. Because that's how I do it. I'll have a video that'll get uploaded before this one. I played around with the new DeVilbiss GTI, the Plus this morning, and put clear on that hood that's sitting in the background. And no runs, and it pounded it on there. I am a happy boy. I think I mentioned in that video that you could, I have a 1/3 tip of my solder jet, and that was the one that wasn't really getting enough clear on there and laying it smooth enough. Somebody will probably comment and say, well, why don't you buy a 1/4 tip for that? Well, anybody who owns a SATA knows the answer to that question. For what it would cost me for a new needle and fluid tip, and you also get an air cap. I don't know what the difference is. I believe they tune the air caps to the tip size. That being said, to buy one, you're looking at $200 to $300. That solder jet is, the digital that I have is an $800 gun, roughly, when it was new. I don't see any reason to spend $300 on a fluid tip, needle, and air cap when I'm not doing production work, when I could go out and buy a whole gun and add that to my tools for about the same money, or maybe a little bit more. So that's why I bought that Plus. Plus it atomizes a little better than HVLP because it uses more, puts more air out there. And honestly, I had less overspray with that than with the SATA HVLP. I'm not a pro. I mean, I could be one of those guys who's not good at adjusting paint guns. You know, I go with what's comfortable for me, and you know, anybody who you ask, you know, how do you adjust a paint gun? Well, they'll tell you how, but what works for one guy does not work for everybody. So, at any rate, I was pretty happy with that. Boy, that one's being a little booger. Alright, I'm going to let that soak. I'm going to shut the camera off because this is going to get boring as hell. And I'll come back with you in a little bit.